Hi, it's Casey Okupi with Free Speech Northwest. I'm gonna do one of those I judge yous. Ilhan Omar was talking about 9/11 and she's like, some people did something. They did something. They did something. I don't know. A lot of times people just do something when I'm in line at a grocery store and it takes forever for me to get through the line. Because they just did something. I don't know. They used the wrong card or something. Is that what she's talking about? They just did something. 9/11, that was just a thing. Well, I don't know. Let's talk about it. I think 9/11, the reason people remember it is because it's more than just something. So, I want to listen to her and then maybe dissect what she was talking about. Because 9/11, something happened. I don't know. All right, can we start that, please?
So to me, I say raise hell. Make people uncomfortable. Because here's the truth. Here's the truth. Far too long, we have lived with the discomfort of being a second-class citizen. And frankly, I'm tired of it. And every single Muslim in this country should be tired of it. CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
Can we pause it for a minute, please? I agree with her on some points. Raise hell, she says. Raise hell. I agree with that. Make people uncomfortable. I like to do that too. So when it comes to the 9/11 part, when she says some people did something, thousands of people died. Thousands of people died. And then 6,000 people were injured. I think it was 3,000 people died. 19 of which were terrorists on a plane. There's a lot of details to this something. It's a lot more than just some people did something. Thousands, literally thousands of people dead. Roughly 3,000 people died. And then 6,000 injured. And the reason this happened were because, and she's talking about Muslims not being treated, they're being treated like second-class citizens. And she's in Congress. This is a congressperson who's Muslim who's saying that they're being treated like second-class citizens. She won a seat in Congress, so okay. But I think it's crazy. I think that this conversation's weird because it was a lot more than just a little thing. These extremists are individuals. Everyone is an individual, so we don't need to group everyone together like the same thing. But these were extremists, and they ran into a building because it was the United States of America. They wanted to impact the United States. That's what terrorism is all about. It's about like a government gesture towards a government that they obviously feel is a evil regime. And so it wasn't nothing. It wasn't a little thing. It was a big deal because thousands of Americans were dead as a result, and thousands more injured. So that offended a lot of people, and it made them very angry. And at this point, I don't know. I think we can look at people and say, okay, well, this is an individual. That's what I do. I go eat at a Lebanese place. I enjoy it. I think they're Muslim. And I'm not saying I'm mad at this person for the terrorism that other individuals did.
So you can't just say that today someone is looking at me strange, that I am going to try to make myself look pleasant. You have to say, this person is looking at me strange. I am not comfortable with it. I am going to go talk to them and ask them why. Because that is a right.
People look at me strange all the time. And I go up to them and I say, why are you looking at me like that? Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. You ever heard that before? Well, good. Yeah. If someone looks at someone strange, go ahead and talk about it. That actually alleviates a lot of the problem. She's acting like this is some big gesture. Who cares? Like, you know, I'll look at a Muslim person who's covered in a headdress and I'll go, oh, that's probably a Muslim person. They have a headdress on their head. Some, you know, like the women with the, so what? You know, people look at people, I look at people all the time. So that doesn't mean I hate you because I think you're a terrorist and I blame you for terrorism, you dummy. That's not what that means. So what? You ever catch eyes with that person when you're waiting to go through an intersection and you're like, and then they're like, you know, and you get this connection. It's not a terrorist. That's not what that is. I don't know. I think everyone thinks everyone's looking at them weird and dumb. That's obsession. She's obsessed with the fact that she's Muslim and nobody cares. No one cares. I don't care that you're Muslim. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I'm not obsessed with the fact that you're Muslim. You are. No one cares. You know? And I don't blame Ilhan Omar, who's racist, for the terrorism. I don't think she did it. I think that there's a lot of emboldening in our Congress now. I think she says things like, you know, yucky Israel or whatever she said, and I don't think that I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's positive. I think there's a lot of emboldening going on in Congress by people who are singling out other individuals. I think she's singling out everyone who's not Muslim and saying they're racist towards Muslims. You liar. No, they're not. I'm not. Because I eat at the, you know, that place. That, I like shawarma, right? I don't care. I'm not interested. I don't care if you're Muslim. I care if you're a terrorist. And I'm not going to assume everyone's a terrorist. And she's like, oh, we were waiting for people to... Violence is evil, you know? It doesn't matter. If you're a white guy and you're violent towards Muslims, if you're a Muslim person and you're violent towards America, it's all stupid and evil, okay? So that's where I'm going. She's doing identity politics thing. She's blaming everyone who like she's categorizing, you know, we were waiting and you're all looking at us all weird and all this other stuff. They're probably looking at her because she's staring at them, waiting for them to look at her. So she can go, that guy hates me because he thinks I'm a terrorist and he hates Muslims and he's racist. I hate her for other reasons. You know, I hate her because I believe that she's racist. And nobody, you know, thinks all Muslims are terrorists that I know. Maybe 6 dudes spread out through the United States think that all Muslims are racist or terrorists. Most people think that, you know, especially most Republicans, most conservatives, they go, oh, that guy? Yeah, that's an individual. Yeah. And, you know, depending on that person's views and perspectives, I might respect that person. You know? That's the way we roll. So you don't look at people of any random color and go, I hate that person because I have these preconceived notions. All these preconceived notions, not everyone has them. A lot of people don't. And you know, a lot of people look at another person and go, that's an individual. That's an individual human being. I'm not going to judge them based on other stuff. And to say that everyone's doing that is a lie. It's not true. You're lying when you say that everyone's looking at you and judging you. Maybe some people are, and you should have the conversation. You should say, why are you looking at me like that? I'm assuming that she's staring at people going, you know, they're going to look at me and think that I'm, you know, Muslim, and so I'm a terrorist. They probably are looking at her, and they're probably thinking in their head, isn't that Ilhan Omar, who hates Israel, or Israeli people? Isn't that who that is? And so she should ask, she should go all the way with it and say, why are you looking at me? And then they'll go, aren't you Ilhan Omar? You hate Israel. And then she'll go, yes. And they'll go, great, I was right. That's what I thought. I just wondered. That's what I thought, and I was right. That's probably why they're staring at her. I don't know. I mean, that's it. I don't think there's anything. I think she's paranoid. I think that there's karma involved in this whole thing too. I think that she doesn't like the Israeli people, and so she's getting a little karma. You know what I mean? Maybe people are like, she doesn't like Jews. She doesn't like the Israeli people, and she doesn't like Jewish people. Ooh, I don't like her. Maybe that's happening. Good. It's called karma. Get over it. I don't care. Yeah, I think that's it. I judge Ilhan Omar as being paranoid, and racist and feeling some karma. And I don't judge the rest of the United States because I don't think they're judging all the, people who are Islamic. I don't think that's happening. I don't believe it's true. I believe some people might be, but overall, we're looking at people as individuals. 20 terrorists flew planes at the United States and caused thousands and thousands of people to die. You know, if you're paranoid that people are looking at you as a result of that, that's on you. People understand that the terrorists that did that are dead. As far as your civil liberties, I'll touch on that. You're talking about your civil liberties being trampled on. I don't care if we're gonna halt flights from these places for like 6 months or whatever, if that's what you're talking about, because that's the only conceivable thing that I would assume that you were talking about when you talk about your civil liberties. It sounds more personal, and I don't see that happening. Otherwise, you're not in Congress. You know, if there's a threat to the United States, I don't care if flights are canceled. Get over it. Deal with it for a few months. Sorry. If it comes to being treated badly, like I said, you're a congressperson. Most of America looks at people as individuals. So I'm not going to believe otherwise at all. I think it's a lie. One last thing for you, Ilhan Omar. You're minimalizing terrorism, you damned fool. You're going, a thingy happened on 9/11. A thingy. So what you're doing is you're minimalizing the concept of terrorism, which can also be perceived or lead to the emboldening of terrorism. That's evil. That's wrong. You're evil. You're wrong. And I don't like you, and I don't think you should be in Congress. You're minimalizing terrorism. You're, talking bad about Israel. There's just so much about you that's bad, and it doesn't have to factor into being a minority and Muslim and all this other stuff. You're minimalizing terrorism. Regardless of who you are, the color of your skin, all this other stuff, you're a bad person for that. It's a big deal. So when thousands of people, thousands of American citizens die and then, well, like 3,000 and then 6,000 injured, that's a big deal. So don't say a little thingy happened on 9/11. Don't say it again. All right? That's it. Thanks for watching I Judge You on Free Speech Northwest.